Viviana had set the alarm clock for 3 hours before. They informed her at so short notice that got her nervous. The mayor had decided to delegate to her at the very last minute. The meeting at the factory wasn't going to be public, and if there weren't any press, it was not worthwhile getting up at the crack of dawn. He told her it was a technical meeting, even though she knew very well it was an unimportant meeting. Otherwise, they wouldn't send her, and even though she was worried, it was she who had to face it, and if she put the leg on it, she would get a telling off as if it was really important. She took the competitive exam without spirits. She anticipated that a boring job that provided a stable salary for life would turn her into one of that grey and misery women that lived in the care of that greyer and more misery men with no intention of setting the hen free. But she made a deal with herself. Do not change. She kept on dressing, making up, having her hair done, and behaving the same. At work, it wasn't frowned upon. Too much sophisticated to be a technician, but didn't care. After all, she didn't do much. She carried out studies on the city, how to improve the communications, how to improve people participation, how to improve public services, how to improve public health. She carried them out, signed them down, and presented quarterly to its analysis and subsequent approval. They approved them all, but they didn't analyze, not even counted with them. Maybe they would if they had read them, but either it was matter of going so deep. She carried out studies because she had studied for that. In fact, from the formative point of view, she was the most qualified between them. But she wasn't ready for the politics. She tried at first. Her father encouraged her to go to the meetings, to put stickers on the lapel of her impeccable seasonal jackets, to talk to the right persons, but she didn't like that people, and remembered her promise. In time, he didn't need to make excuses up. They stopped asking. It really was a relief for them. It spared them excuses not to include her in the lists, or to recommend her to higher positions. Those they didn't even have to pretend they worked. She prepared the clothes the night before. It was a habit she got into when she was a child. Then to sleep a bit more. Now to have everything under control. She chose an austere outfit. She chose an austere outfit. One of few. She didn't like that style very much. She occasionally bought them at the sales just in case. Not shoes, which broke completely and absolutely all and every one of her principles. She refused to have into her shoe rack not a single inch of boredom. No and never. She had chosen a pair of Divines. Expensive, of course, really stylish, and, the most important, comfortable, and that perfectly went with the suit. She had breakfast as always, trying to make the day normal. It wasn't her first meeting. It either was the first time she got worked up for attending one. She knew it would be fine. Perhaps read some words she had prepared carefully just in case the prayers didn't have effect, and at the end it gave time to the speeches delivering. She got married 2 years before. She got divorced a year and a half before. It didn't last too much, even though it seemed an eternity to her. She had said yes, because she thought she said it to a wonderful life, plenty of love, fantasy and fresh flowers. She said enough, because she got tired of the soccer games that left greasy leftovers on the fancy couch delicate upholstery, the disgusting clothes threw away all around, and above all, of the parents-in-law that rescued their son each time he had to do housework. She upset them, and she was to blame. For a while. Then the eggs got other, and they forgot about her. She decided that never again. To the get married thing, not to men. The official car was punctually in front of her door, and 2 petty boxes and a secretary were waiting for her inside. Checking the set design, they agreed she would talk. She was the most prepared and knew better all that changed on the energy supply sheet. They went just to sign the agreement in Major's behalf, and to avoid the government people take the wrong way, the Mayor stood them up for a very important meeting that turned to be a golf match. At the table she calmed down, looked at that hypocrite, sat down behind a card with their name underlined by the post they held. She looked at Vigo. Of course she did. He was the only passable one there. But she didn't know his name. They had said the names over the racket of the chair setting up. Nor him or the council secretary or her had a card with name. Interesting, she thought while she tried to control the foot that was moving nervously.